In the personal story segment tonight, going inside the home of the San Bernardino killers. In one of the most bizarre developments yet, the home's landlord gave a surprise invitation to the media today to come in and check it out. Everything from Islamic books of prayer to toys for the couple's 6-month-old daughter, identification cards, and family photos were still inside. Joining us now with more from San Bernardino, Fox News correspondent Adam Housley. Adam, all of us saw the video today of reporters crawling all over each other with their cameras taking pictures of this crime scene. I know that the FBI says that they have completed their investigation of the house that the couple were renting, but no evidence that from the crime scene that was still needed by the investigators?
No, they say no evidence at all. In fact, I got that from not only the local folks here that have been doing this investigation, but also the national people. They say as crazy as it looked, and obviously they can't determine how the media covers it, but they say, listen, we went through this place with everything, inch by inch. We got a lot of information out of there. We needed nothing else in there, and this is normal for us to hand it back over to the homeowner when we're completely done with it.
The evidence was clearly leading in that direction, and your reporting the last day or so certainly was leading in that direction. I got to say, though, I thought it was pretty dramatic today when the lead FBI person on the investigation out there in San Bernardino said they are now, the FBI is investigating this as an act of terrorism.
Yeah, you know, I can tell you from early on, Chris, they thought it was an act of terrorism. They've been saying that to us here on the ground. They say they don't want to worry about the terminology coming from Washington. They wanted to worry about the investigation, but they've been wanting to call it that. We got tipped off yesterday at about 7 p.m. that he would come out today and say that. It was supposed to be a noon local press conference, and they changed it to 11 a.m. because the National Director Comey was coming out to speak on something else and ended up being on this as well. And so kind of interesting how it happened, Chris, but I'll tell you that I thought it was dramatic as well. Even though we knew here on the ground it's been going this way from the beginning, it's very dramatic when you hear that, when you hear the guy in charge say, this is terrorism.
Has the mood there changed at all since that announcement, Adam, in the sense that, you know, if it's workplace violence, it's terrible, but it's somebody else's problem. If it's a terror cell, even if it's those two people, there's always the question, is there somebody else out there, and is there going to be another attack? How do people in the neighborhood feel?
I don't think people here have changed their feeling. I mean, they've been tense. I mean, obviously, once the two were killed in that shootout we covered a couple of days ago, once that happened, the energy did relax a little bit. But people here knew what this was. I think a lot of people in the country knew what this was. I also can tell you there's been a debate in Washington behind the scenes about what to call this. There was pressure at one point, Chris, to call this workplace violence that it caused terrorism. Believe it or not, that was actually part of a debate behind the scenes. So people here on the ground knew what it was. I mean, when you're here, you feel it, you know it, and you hear the reporting from here on the ground, and also the investigators are all over this place. As you might imagine, there's a massive presence of investigation work going on, not only here in Redlands, but also San Bernardino and really across the region. Chris?
And in our final 30 seconds, Adam, I assume that this weekend, now that we have a better sense of what caused this, that some of the focus will return to burying the dead, those 14 people who lost their lives.
Yeah, you know, hearing some amazing stories. You know, one woman that actually kind of knows my brother in an indirect way, she was the only one that survived at her table that was at that event. I mean, you're hearing those types of things along with the families that are having to remember their loved ones as they put them laying to rest, knowing that this is now a terrorist attack officially. Obviously, this community has come together like a lot of communities do, but they also know that they're in the middle of arguably one of the most important events. As one of the FBI agents said to me, Adam, this is a game changer.
Adam, thank you. Thank you for your reporting and for your insights.